guys, to the premiere episode of Storytime with Sterling. Now, if you're tuning into this, you most likely know who the hell I am and what I do. But just in case someone has randomly stumbled across this stream, my name is Sterling Cooper. I'm a professional porn star. Been in the industry since 2017. Prior to that, was also a straight male escort. So I know a thing or two about ladies in the bedroom, and that is my specialty. But today, I'm going to talk about something a little bit different. I'm going to talk about a little concept known as the pipe dream. Before I do that, I want to ask you lads, how was your day? Let's get some comments in the chat. Let me know if you had a good day, if you had a bad day. I know if Thor's still in here, he will say he is living the dream. I had a fantastic day today. If anyone has seen my Instagram story today, because we're in the middle of this weird coronavirus lockdown-y situation in California, well, quasi-lockdown, restrictions situation in California. Some companies out here in the adult entertainment industry have decided to take measures that are a little bit more precautious than others. So today, when I turned up on set, there was no director, there was no PA, there was no lighting guy, there was no sound guy, there was no makeup artist, there was no one there. So I walked in, and there's all these signs and arrows pointing everywhere. I go upstairs, and all the lights and cameras are all set up, ready to go. They've all got instructions on them. Step 1, press the red button here. Press this, press that. Go to step 2. Step 2, turn the lights on. Step 3, turn the audio on. Begin over here, fill out your paperwork. Everything meticulously done and labeled and planned out down to a T. It was quite interesting because what would normally have taken, I don't know, maybe 4 hours if it was, me and the female talent and the director and PAs and all that. Well, on average would take at least 4 hours. We smashed out in 2, barely even that. With me taking all the photos on my camera and then pressing the record button, then just getting at it. Stupidly efficient. So maybe they're onto something. But look, if I'm a little bit quiet, thank you for letting me know, EJ. How's that, Sammy? How's that, EJ? Is that a bit better? Let's bring this thing a little bit closer. How about that? Is that a little bit better? Thank you for letting me know. So today we're going to talk about this concept known as the pipe dream. If we do a real quick Google search, what does the dictionary state a pipe dream is? Pipe dream is an unattainable or fanciful hope or scheme. Unattainable. You might already guess where I'm going with this. That phrase, a pipe dream, is the stupidest phrase anyone could ever add to their lexicon. I'll tell you why. So I had a friend a long time ago, he's still a friend of mine. Obviously lives in Australia. We haven't really seen each other in a long time, but he was a university buddy of mine. And back in the day, I used to run, before I did all this nonsense, getting paid to do unspeakable things. Back in the day, I used to run a meal delivery business. And I actually quit. Before that, I actually quit my job as an industrial chemist to go and pursue that business. Now, I had a friend at the time who said to me, "Man, that's so risky. You know, I'd love to have the balls to do what you're doing, like quit your job and try and start your own business. But I just can't do that. It was a bit it's too risky for me." That's what he said. Now, lo and behold, this man works for the government. He doesn't have to really push himself too much in his day-to-day job. But the way I look at that, right? Why on earth is quitting your job and going to start your own business a risky thing? Let's look at it this way. If I quit my job and I start my own business and I succeed, well, that's fantastic. If I quit my job and I go and start my own business and I fail, well, I've just learnt a whole ton of practical, real world knowledge and skills in terms of what not to do to succeed the next time I try something like this. And that's the way I always looked at it. So the reason I bring this up is because this buddy of mine, he was the one who introduced me to this phrase, pipe dream. And he said it one day when he was talking about, I said, "Look, mate, what would you, more than anything else, what would you really like to do in your life? If you could snap your fingers, you're not working for the government anymore, you're doing what you love, and you're making money off it, what would it be?" And he said, "Oh, I'd be a photographer." And he's a really good photographer, by the way. And I said, "Well, why don't you just pursue it?" And he said, "Oh, no. That's a pipe dream. No, I could never do that. That's a pipe dream." Lo and behold, one of our old college mates actually did exactly that. He had like a useless bloody arts degree, and so he pursued photography, and now he photographs some of the most popular bands around the world. He tours around the world with bands and takes their photographs and stuff. And it's exactly what my mate would love to be paid to do. And yet he couldn't wrap his head around the idea that perhaps his belief system might be limiting him a wee bit. You see, if you have, like, words are very important. Like, the words we use dictate the kind of thoughts that go on in our mind unconsciously. Like, the autopilot thoughts that we have on a day-to-day basis, there's a symbiotic relationship between those and the words we use every day in our life. And if you throw around phrases like pipe dream when it comes to talking about your goals and aspirations in life, you're basically programming your brain to believe that you can never achieve the things you want to achieve. Now, I know a lot of you guys are in here from John from Modern Life Dating's groups, and he always says your brain is like a moist programmable computer. And he's right. This thing up here, you can pretty much get it to do whatever you want it to do with enough consistency and programming. So being aware of the ways in which you're screwing that up, by throwing around silly, ridiculous phrases like pipe dream. I can't think of anything more ridiculous. What about you guys in the chat? Has anyone ever told you that something you wanted to do, something you wanted to pursue, was a pipe dream? Let me know in the chat. You want to know what else was a pipe dream of mine? This job I'm doing right now. not this thing, but my regular day job, where I'm on film in an adult context. That thing that started out as a pipe dream 3 years ago. And how did I get from, and again, for those of you who don't know, I'm from a tiny 3,000 person town in rural Western Australia, like fucking nowhere, right? And the nearest capital city to me, Perth, is the most isolated capital city in the entire world. So there's not much going on. There's no Hollywood. There's no big music industry. There's some small bands, but no big music industry. There's no big anything, right? So there's not really many ways to get out or to make it big in a place like that. Right? There's less opportunity, shall we say, than in a place like Los Angeles, for example. So how the hell did I get from this tiny town, middle of nowhere, on the other side of the planet, to here, to where I am? Well, I systematically broke down the goal I wanted to achieve into actionable chunks. And that's the way you do it. It's good to have a big, one of my old mentors, he used to say, you want to have big, hairy, audacious goals, right? The kind of thing that gets you excited, the kind of thing that makes your balls tingle, makes you want to leap out of bed in the morning, right? However, that can be kind of fleeting. This sort of emotional drive that boost towards chasing a goal can be kind of fleeting. But to start with, at least, it's very useful to have this kind of fire under your ass, because you have a goal that is so exciting to you, it forces you to kind of take action. But again, how did I go from tiny town, middle of nowhere, to here? Well, you can take a big, hairy, audacious goal and you can reverse engineer it to the position you're in, right? Break it down step by step, chunk by chunk. And the way I did that was I said, okay, look, I'm here in Australia. Is there anyone in Australia that potentially can be shooting the kind of stuff I want to be getting involved in? Made some connections. Yes. I can go to the Eastern Coast. I can go to Melbourne. I can shoot there. Okay, cool. Then what would the next step be? Well, I do some research on Twitter. Turns out there's a lot of adult film being done in Europe. And because I'm an Australian citizen, it's pretty easy for me to get a passport, get a work visa in England. That's the next step. Okay, then we go to England. All right, once I'm in England, now I can make some contacts, and then I can go to Europe, and I can work out there. Fantastic. Once I'm there, then I can make some more contacts and find a way to get over here, over to the USA. And I literally, like, that was from day one. That was my exact plan 3 years ago. Step by step by step, how do I get into the adult entertainment industry in Los Angeles, California? And that's exactly what I did. Systematically executing on a long-term plan, on a big, hairy, audacious goal by simply breaking it down into bite-size, achievable chunks. So, for anyone who's watching this, if you've got something, a big, hairy, audacious goal, something that excites you, something that you don't think you could reasonably achieve, be that start a business, be that lose a bunch of weight, be that, I don't know, set up a lifestyle that other people are envious of, whatever it might be, I'd encourage you to take a step back and break it down into chunks and reverse engineer it and say, how on earth, if I had a gun to my head and I had to tell someone how to break this down to go from A to B, how would I do it? Right? Think about it. Good here, Sammy says, lots of other people told me that success in trading in stocks and other financial instruments for a living was unlikely, but I proved them wrong and successfully did it before I got my current job. See? A lot of people will tell you a lot of things are unlikely or unachievable or unattainable. You know? You don't want to think like a lot of other people. That's the thing. If you're going to separate yourself from the pack, you need to not think like a lot of other people. And train for a living more, but I was a great skill. Learn hard work and perseverance. Yeah, of course it is. And that's the thing. Yeah, and you're going to use it for the rest of your life. Exactly right. That's the thing. Any skills that you kind of learn on your own, right? That you are sort of forced to learn on your own, kind of problem-solving skills. These things carry with you through every endeavor of your life. They're incredibly useful. We've got to be a black sheep family and close friends have told me I'm not fit to box, but I train and screw them. Cut and weight, get ready for competition, or rather done train. Good on you, black sheep. So that's exactly right. That's what you want to be doing. Look, you've only got one life, guys. Stuff the opinion of anyone who isn't 100% on board with you becoming the best version of yourself, with you creating the lifestyle that you want. If anyone's going to drag you down and tell you you shouldn't be doing this, shouldn't be doing that, screw them. Absolutely screw them. Most of it over here. I think I've told myself many things aren't possible. It's really scary how many negative thoughts negate the progress of dreams. That's exactly right, EJ. That's exactly right. Look, let's keep scrolling down. All right, lads. Well, I'm going to keep this one short and I'm going to end it there. So, thank you everyone for tuning in to this first episode of Storytime with Sterling. And I'm going to endeavor to be bringing you, for those of you who, first of all, hit that like button, smash that like button, because it helps the video show up in search engines. Second of all, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And thirdly, what my plans are with this channel. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know if you think this is a good idea. My plans with this channel are to do a couple of different segments. First being Storytime with Sterling, where basically I will be relaying some ridiculous stories on set to you guys and perhaps teaching you a lesson or two along the way. And the other segment I'm keen on getting started here is getting some of my fellow co-stars in on the show to do a little thing I want to call Tales from a Hot Girl, where we're going to go through their DMs and find the creepiest, most disturbing messages that guys send them on a regular basis, to give you guys some perspective into the life of a hot chick in this day and age. So stay tuned. We're going to try and I will be endeavoring to be streaming every day for the next few weeks, maybe even the next few months. We'll see if I can keep it up. And if you guys have any topics you'd like me to cover while I'm doing this, any questions you have at all, make sure you let me know. Keep jumping on the live chat. Keep supporting it, and I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep ranting and raving into the internet until enough people are listening. All right? So, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. And that will be the end of the show. You have a great day. Have a great Saturday night. Enjoy your evenings.